Welcome back to the Two Promises podcast. Let's dive right into another exciting adventure with BD and crew as he pursues his new passion of one day finding the best, most epic bourbon. The Two Promises team sends their special thanks to Hobie and the Huckleberries for that masterful theme music. So grab a glass, relax, and enjoy responsibly.
Baby says she's leaving if I don't stop drinking wine. So I switched to whiskey, now I'm feeling fine. Drinking that smooth, smooth whiskey. No more wine. I like straight bourbon. Baby, you try the ride.
Welcome back. I'm super excited to have you all here on the Two Promises podcast. We have a very special guest from the Great White North. We have Julie, and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself a little bit. And go ahead, Julie. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Brent, for having me on the show. Like Brent said, my name's Julie, and I live in Ontario, Canada, the Great White North. And yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit about self-care and some massage therapy because I am a registered massage therapist up here in Ontario.
Absolutely.
And
yeah, so I'm excited to get into that. I'm excited to get into a lot of just different things here. But first of all, you were telling me a little bit about a beverage that you were just enjoying, and trying to stay consistent with that. So can you tell me about the tea or whatever it was that you made and why?
yeah, no, I made myself some hot water and some honey and some lemon, and I just added together. And the honey is actually a raw honey, so it has some really good antibacterial and antifungal, antiviral properties to it. So yeah, I'm just kind of sipping away with that.
That's awesome. Yeah, honey has been proven to be extremely, extremely powerful in all those things that you just said, and sometimes even comparative to some of the silver impregnated dressings that I've seen. If not, I mean, obviously silver is more costly and whatever, but if it's comparative in the properties, going for a very low cost option is way, way, way smarter, healthier, etc. And we really need to take care of our bee populations as well because there has been a dip. So the more you can do for getting this raw honey, like Julie is saying, is just going to help everything around us so much. Did you have anything you wanted to add on that, Julie?
No, I just do it for the taste and the comfort and the smoothness as drinking it. It's really good.
Absolutely. So I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about how we met, but the truth is we haven't ever actually met.
We haven't, no.
So she went to college with my older brother, and during all of this pandemic isolation, we kind of became friends on Facebook, and we really got to know each other there. And yeah, did you want to kind of go into that a little bit about how you kind of see the connection? Because I thought it was just a lot of fun, and because I don't know. The point is, I feel like though we've known each other for a short time and we've never actually met, I feel like I've known you all my life.
I feel the same way. No, I went to college in St. Louis years ago, and I met your brother. And then years later, your younger brother married a cousin of mine. And then it was just out of the blue, I decided to make a connection. I'm like, you're practically family anyway, so why not, And that was probably maybe about over a year ago, I think.
Yeah.
And it's just blossomed to this wonderful friendship, and I've been enjoying.
Absolutely. It's been super cool. So she kind of caught me in kind of a really weird time in my life because I was in a big transition from a huge career, kind of in obviously not the best headspace and, a lot of different things. And it's just been a rough little bit of time for me, as you all know. And she's always been just kind of like a really strong voice. She's very passionate, and she's always been super helpful. No matter what I've been going through, she's always been there to assist and support, and that was just super powerful for me. So I just want to say thank you so much for that, because it's really it's meant a lot to me.
No, I'm so glad that I could help.
Absolutely. So, do you mind telling us a little bit about what got you? Because we talked about business. I've been trying to grow this podcast, some other business ventures and stuff, and we've just been kind of going back and forth over the last year, troubleshooting different business ideas. I kind of think that's maybe where we started kind of really talking, because I was sending you some logo ideas, some concept ideas, and you were sending me some stuff because you were trying to scale your business, right?
That's correct, yeah. No, I was helping you with like just some of the coloring and like the whole creative concept of some of your logos.
Yes.
And you were helping me with help building up ways to grow the business and maybe expanding and kind of tweaking it a little bit. But yeah, no,
Absolutely.
I've been growing my registered massage therapy business, the mobile part of it, for maybe the last year, over a year. Yeah, so all the tips that you've given me, I've implemented it, and it works.
Awesome. Can you tell me a little bit how that has gone for you? So in terms of whenever you decided, hey, you wanted to shift from kind of being in like a co-op type setting to being a little bit more independent, correct?
Yeah, I've been
and we started talking.
for almost,
okay, go ahead.
I've been massaging for almost 12 years, and about 10 of those years I've been in like a multidisciplinary clinic, got chiropractors, physios, naturopaths, and I got to the point where I reached as far as I could go because there was limitations on what I could do and what I couldn't do.
Okay, so you kind of hit like a glass ceiling, if you will. Okay.
So I was like, I love my job and I just want to go further. So I took the big scary step and I took the leap of faith and I jumped out and I ventured into the mobile massage therapy. And honestly, starting off with like 5 people and growing up to almost 80 clients now.
That's awesome. And about how long did you go from that amount?
It took me a year.
A year.
And I really blossomed after the pandemic and we kind of reopened.
So you used that time to kind of build a stronger foundation, because we were kind of rapping about some of those ideas, right? You weren't just latent, you weren't just setting, wondering why or wondering what, you were building ready to pounce whenever it reopened. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I was just going by my name, like Julie Arsenal, registered massage therapist. But then I was thinking, I'm like, I really want to brand myself, and that's where I asked you, like, how's that Renew You mobile massage? And you helped me play on the words, and honestly, I love it. It's fantastic. It's catchy.
Excellent. Yeah. I'm so glad that it's been working for you, and just to say that within 6 to 12 months, you've went from 5 to 80 clients that's phenomenal.
Yeah. And I really don't even advertise. It's all by word of mouth and just experience. People refer me to their friends and their families, which to me is the greatest honor. I am so thankful that they can do that, because that's the best reward that you could ever give me, is just referral of friends and family.
I mean, that does not surprise me at all, because like I said, since I've known you just via social media and just, some interactions like this, is you've been very driven, very passionate, you're very hardworking, you're confident, and you have a huge heart to help. And I just want to honor that, give that back to you and say thank you for that. And I'll just give a couple examples, and these are just small examples, but for the listeners, I just want you to know that all the things that you do are way more impactful whenever you're doing positive things to put good things out there. All the things you do are a lot more impactful than you think. So she was really pushing me to get one of the pink Himalayan like sea salt lamps, and anytime I'd get like a sports injury or something like that, because you've been following me, I've had broken toes, shoulder issues, back issues, and she'd always recommend just different essential oils or therapies or stretches, just very casually, very nonchalant, because she's just such an expert in that area, and it has really benefited me a lot. So like right now, whenever I was getting my studio ready to record this, on goes the sea salt lamp, and I really truly do believe that it has helped my mood, and it just makes this place just feel a lot more inviting and a lot more at peace. So again, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I love them. I've been dabbling into the healing crystals for about a year now, and they make a world of difference for me, and just kind of calming me sometimes if I'm really anxious or anxiety. They help. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I don't know how much I introduced this, but I'm really excited to have like a little series with some of these just incredible lady bosses, entrepreneurs, or healers, or just influential women over the next few weeks. And I'm so excited to have Julie as opening this up. And I just wanted to just ask you if you just wanted to tell us a little bit about your experience in massage therapy, go kind of wherever you want to go with this, wherever your kind of heart's at, and then we have a few more questions, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, massage therapy has been in kind of like my DNA since I was little. I was probably a tween bopper when I started massaging family members, and the feedback that they gave me was just amazing. They're like, oh, this was the best. This was amazing. But never really thought of it because I was just too little to even think that massage therapy was a profession. And it wasn't until I went to college in St. Louis where I met your brother, and I was massaging some of the guys that would come home or from the school after working FedEx, or I'd have some of the girls who had done some janitorial work and their muscles were sore. And I'm like, hey, I'll give you a massage. Like, let me massage your shoulders. It'll make you feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, I got that passion. And then I started looking into it after I came back to Canada. I looked into the registered massage therapy programs and I fell in love with it. Was kind of what I wanted to do, part of the medical field. You're helping, you're healing, and you're just making a positive impact on people's lives through massage.
That's so awesome.
And then it's kind of funny because I get contacted with some of these friends that I had gone to school with and like, oh, Julie, what are you doing? What do you work? And I tell them, I'm like, you won't believe it, but I'm actually a massage therapist. And they just chuckle and laugh.
That's so cool.
Like, oh, do I get a finder's fee for helping you push you into your career?
That's so awesome.
This has been the most rewarding journey and career path I feel like I'm doing what I was meant to do.
Absolutely. That's so awesome to be able to be working and impacting in an area where you feel like, hey, this is where I'm meant to be. That's super exciting. So, I mean, for people that are following me, we've got a lot of stuff about, getting rooted in what you believe you're meant to do or what you feel so strongly about or your anchors and those things that motivate you. And she's just such a great example of that. And it's super exciting. So from my perspective, you've been doing this for, you said at least a decade, right?
Yeah, like 12 years. It'll be this 12 in August.
Okay.
Of this, yeah.
So that means you've gone through a lot of ups and downs, some mountains, some valleys. You've gone through a lot of different emotions throughout this whole spectrum. So what I want to ask is, what keeps you going whenever you are kind of in one of those slumps or even whenever you're, what just keeps you going?
It's honestly, it's like that whole caring aspect, the patience, really. No one, like during the lockdown that we had here in the Great White North, I was off work for 3 months and I kind of got a little depressed. But my main concern was my clients. I'm like, I can't wait to get back to work. My clients, my patients, they need me. It's like just learning and helping people. That's my drive.
That's
and
awesome.
Knowing that when they come in, they get a treatment and they leave better, feeling great than they did when they walked in. That's my drive. That's my mission, is to make sure that you get the experience that you need and you feel fantastic after you're gone.
That's awesome. So that kind of ties back into your name, right? The Renew piece?
The Renew. Yeah, because you're coming in, you're feeling a little sore and achy, and sometimes it's even just stress relief, that your mind's all over the place. And then you come in, you get a nice relaxing massage. It kind of grounds you.
Mm-hmm.
You go back off as a new, renewed person. So it's that renewed feeling good.
That's awesome. The transition from just all of that stress, anxiety, whatever it might be, hurt, harm, and then going out your door, then now you're at peace, centered, and feel more ready to face whatever it is that you need to face in your life.
Exactly.
That's so awesome.
And massage is awesome for all of that. It's got so many benefits to it. It
Absolutely.
It helps with
I mean,
like de-stressing.
yeah,
It's a big one.
absolutely.
Reduces stress, flushes toxins, improves your circulation. Just so many good properties for a massage and
Absolutely.
self-care.
And like just lymphatic drainage, stuff like that, getting that movement of fluids and stuff like that through the tissues and just flushing things out, like you said.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I mean, just from my experience, obviously I've traveled all over. I've seen just different amazing therapies. We talked about it previously with some of the reflexology techniques, and then just seeing how, like, even in Thailand, the foot massages there are like painful experiences for Westerners, you know? So, or at least for me, and that's a very common trend. In fact, I walked on some of these, it's actually in Korea, but they have these like walk paths that are stones, and they're like reflexology stone paths that you walk on. But for me, it is so painful for my feet, but for locals or people who are used to that or who have those healthier feet because of all those massage things that they do in that area, it's not a painful thing for them. It's a therapy. And I don't really know what is there, but it's been a curiosity of mine to explore those areas. And that's why I'm so excited to have you on the show, because I'm learning more and it just adds more to my body of knowledge. And I've experienced so much healing through massage. And in fact, I had a super tight ITB before I did a deployment. I was at a refresher course for my medical thing, and it was so locked up. My back was all over the place. I mean, it was awful, and I thought I was not going to be able to complete training, but I had a bunch of saved up prepaids at Massage Envy, and no joke, I went in, I was like, I need a 2-hour session just for my legs. And they're like, no, you don't need that. You're never going to be able to, I'm a super strong everything. And it's like, you're not going to, it's like, you don't need it all there. I was like, all right, well, you check it out. You let me know. And she's like, yep, this is going to be a while. But no joke, I think every little break I got, I went and I used some of those prepaids. And no joke, by the time I left after that course, I was back in training and just hit the ground running. So I don't even remember that person's name, and because I went through a few different people there, but thank you all so much. And thank you, Julie, for everything that you do, because it's super awesome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's my path in life, is just to help. So
that's so cool. So part of just Renew, everything like that, I'm sure that there's some people that are listening or will be listening that might be interested in getting started out on a massage therapist or a healing journey of some sort like that. So what advice would you give to somebody who's curious or maybe just starting out?
Yeah, I would actually just kind of Google some. I think in the United States, they're licensed massage therapists. I would actually just Google and look at some of their reviews. But honestly, it's such a personal experience that for me, you're not always going to find someone that meshes with you, because it's such a personal experience. Mm-hmm. And every RMT or licensed massage therapist, they're an artist in their own profession.
Absolutely.
In a way. And so you just got to find someone that you click with and you're like, you know what? They gave me one of the best massages ever. Mm-hmm. Or like, oh, that wasn't the best. You just keep finding until you find someone that you click with. Mm-hmm. on a professional level.
Can I throw something in?
The reviews, for sure.
I'd like to throw something in there, just from, obviously I'm not a professional in the industry, but just I have, been a client or a customer. So I wish that I would have learned this earlier, but I come from like a high anxiety state, and like the reasons I usually go for massage therapy is, trauma. But whenever I started to learn more about my breathing and being able to breathe more with the therapist or the healer, that's whenever I kind of broke through into way, way, way higher planes of results. So if you're on the journey or new to the journey from this end, from a searching for healing end, start practicing breathing and and just ask your therapist too. And those are two things that I would advise, but I would love to hear from you, Julie. What would you recommend?
I would say breathing, it's amazing. To do it properly, you just take a nice deep breath in, you fill your tummy up, and just to breathe in, hold, and exhale, you can feel your body literally let go of the tension. So breathing, it's our everyday part of our life. We do it every day, every second. So learning to breathe and breathing the proper way, it will enhance just your mentality. It can ground you, it can de-stress
awesome.
you. There's so many benefits to breathing, and I'll send you a link to one of the books that I like to enjoy and that I've read that I think that you guys might all
Yeah, what's the name of that book?
Well.
Would you mind just mention it here, and we'll add it in our show notes?
Yeah, it's actually just called Just Breathe. It's
Awesome.
Mastering Breathe Work by Dan Brule and Tony Robbins.
Okay. Yeah, you did send me this. Yep, absolutely. Just
Yeah.
Breathe. Could you say that one more time?
Just Breathe. It's the
Mastering Breathwork.
Mastering Breath Work by Dan Brule and Tony Robbins.
Awesome. Excellent. So yeah, check it out. I'm going to have to check it out as well. I'm excited because that's something that this last year I've been trying to really focus on is breathing. And yeah, thanks for that book recommendation. I'm excited. And if you're listening in, if you've listened or if you've read the book, please weigh in with your feedback. And yeah, exciting. So I guess you've given some advice for what you'd give someone starting out. We've kind of talked on my end. So if you were to kind of had one thing that you wanted to say to the world or to anything about your profession that you wanted them to know, COVID isolation, pandemic, healthcare or not, like what, regardless of what category, what would you want the world to kind of know about your profession or your call to healing or whatever? You know what I'm saying?
I would say self-care is so important. I talk to my clients about that every day. It's like if you give, and then you have an empty cup, there's nothing left for you, for yourself. So it's even if you're just taking 15 minutes to do something that you truly enjoy, whether it's writing, painting, or just taking a quick walk out in nature.
Absolutely.
Or getting a massage.
Absolutely.
Self-care is so important. And I have to say that's probably the number one thing that we can do for ourselves is just taking the time to take care of ourselves and doing something that we will enjoy to do and help heal us.
Absolutely. It's so, while that is, I don't want to kind of undervalue it, so simple, it's so often forgotten by all of us. You know what I mean?
It is.
And it's so easily neglected, and that's why I've been really having to rein myself in and slow myself down to really focus on giving myself that time and space to do exactly what you said. So I need to hear it so many times, and that's why I'm so grateful. Yeah. You've been there for me. You've been the one that's telling me, hey, slow down. Hey, peppermint oil for that shoulder because you keep injuring it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, we all hear it, and we're all guilty of it from time to time. But if we could just do a little bit more often, that self-care will be so much better.
Excellent. Do you have any quick tips for our listeners at home for maybe a stretch or something that they can take home and they can implement today that you could walk them through to add value to their life, whether that's a tension headache release or I don't know, would you just pull out of your pocket and just try to give to somebody right now, listening in?
I would say there's probably 2 things or 3 things. So peppermint oil, I absolutely love peppermint oil. I recommend it to everybody unless you have epilepsy, high blood pressure, and pregnant. Peppermint oil just helps soothe sore muscles. It can help with headaches, and it smells so good. It makes you feel alert and aware. And then the other one would be like Epsom salts baths. Epsom salts baths, I recommend like having a really nice hot bath and literally 3 cups of Epsom salts and just soak in there for 20 minutes.
Okay.
It's great just to have a nice soak. It relaxes you. And then the one tool that I would suggest, I actually recommend it to all my clients, is a foam roller. Foam, like those little tiny cylinder tubes that are like really hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Foam.
Yep.
Using it on your IT bands, your hamstrings, your quads. You can even lay on it and roll your back out. It just kind of gives you a little bit of relief if you're in between sessions with massage therapy or chiropractic.
Absolutely.
It just kind of gives you that little extra oomph to get you through until your next session with people.
Love it. Yes, definitely a good, not just remedial exercise, but also preventative. So
That's right.
absolutely. Thank you so much for...
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. One more question before we let you take off. How can we help you out as listeners here at the Two Promises podcast? How can we help you get your message out or whatever it is? How can we help you?
Just talk about massage and read some of the books. Go for a massage, go for a walk, and just give yourself some self-health. And, give me a shout or message me if you have questions. I'll give Brent a link to my email so you can even contact me if you need questions answered. I'd be more than willing to help you, steer you, help you in any way that I can.
Awesome. I love it. I'm absolutely not at all surprised by that answer because you have such a huge heart to help, and the answer was just wanting to give that love back. So, again, thank you so much for being on the show. Thanks for being a lady boss. Yeah, absolutely. And keep charging on, and I'm so excited for your growth and for Renew.
All right. Thank you so much, Brent. Have a great day.
Take care.
Thank you for joining us today on this curious roller coaster of life. If this is your stop, please exit peacefully and enjoy the rest of your day. If you're ready for another one, just push play. A final note before you go: thank you. And thank you for feeling. The distillation and aging process is different for everyone. I'm not quite sure what you're ready for, so please sip slowly and enjoy responsibly.
Baby says she's leaving if I don't stop drinking wine. So I switched to whiskey, now I'm feeling fine. Drinking that smooth whiskey. No more